Welcome everyone to this month's Astro Colorscope. My name's Elizabeth Harper. My website is sealedwithlove.com. So the idea of the Astro Colorscope is that in a moment I'm going to pick 3 crystals from my crystal bag. I'll throw them into a circle of 12 houses. We'll see which houses the crystals are aligned with. Then I'll read the crystal energy, the colors, and the house energy that they're in. I'll also take a bead from my bead bag just to see what the influence of an extra piece of color is. Then the third thing is I'll take a card from the Voyager deck and I will ask you to take a look at the card. Hopefully you'll be able to see it properly. And I'll ask you to see which image in the card you're most attracted to, and what that image means for you. I'll be looking at the card as well and letting you know what I feel the influence is. So before we get started on your crystals, I just want to talk a little bit about what's going on this September with the astrological influences. So this is kind of a big month for aspects in the heavens. There is a sense of a shift, of a change, and it's almost like I almost feel like a breakthrough month for all of us. So from the 1st onward, there is a Venus-Mars conjunct, and it almost feels like it's a start of a breakthrough energy. Then on the 5th, the Sun is trine Pluto, and it feels like you're going to find something. And it might be that you find lost love. On the 6th, Venus goes direct. It's been retrograde for at least the last month, 6 weeks. There's a sense of not only finding something, but maybe finding that love for someone else, but also for yourself. It's almost like you've been looking for something, and it could have been that you've been looking outside of yourself, but I also feel if you've been looking inside, maybe for an idea, not necessarily love, it could be an idea, maybe a business idea. It might be that you'll find your fabulous home that you wanted, but it's because something is shifting within you. So then around the 8th, Mars and Uranus are trine, and that Mars energy is very much about passion. So we started out the month with Mars and Venus conjunct. So it's almost like there's a big influence of Mars, at least to me, for that first week of September. So I feel that there's passion. I feel that with Venus becoming direct, there's a lot of love energy that's starting to come out. So it almost feels like there's a big breakthrough, a dam that's opening up. Lots of love, lots of passion, lots of activity. And then the 9th, Mercury is square Pluto, and it feels like that's an upset, that there's going to be some criticism maybe, and it's not necessarily somebody being critical of you. It may be that you're criticizing yourself or criticizing others. It just feels like there's a sense of criticism that comes up around that time. Then the 17th, Mercury goes retrograde. We know what happens with that, right? So communication goes a little bit off. But at the same time, Saturn moves into Sagittarius. Jupiter is opposing Neptune. And it feels like this is a wake-up time. It feels like there's a wake-up to reality. And that communication, it almost feels like you can no longer access something that you've been pretending has been in your life. So it's almost like you can no longer access that, and you can no longer pretend anymore. So your imagination, it's not that your imagination is going, it's just that what you've imagined to be true, what you've imagined to be your reality is no longer a part of your life. That's what I feel that energy is all around. So then there is that breakthrough. There's Pluto moves into direct. It's in Capricorn on the 24th. Get my words right here, and there's a feeling with that. That is a planet of transformation, and I feel almost as if again we're moving through this big breakthrough wake up call the whole of the month. It's almost like we're shaken awake with that, and then on the 27th. there is a supermoon, and this supermoon, there's a lunar eclipse that goes with this supermoon, and I feel, again, it's in Aries, so I feel that Mars energy is really coming through, and it, you know, there is still a feeling of a breakthrough, like something is breaking out, and it doesn't have to be negative, it can be really, really positive, but I feel as if whatever illusions you've had or whatever you've been playing with, you now have to get serious, and the illusions are no longer there, and it's almost like you are suddenly coming alive. So if you imagine, what I'm seeing is, I'm seeing this doll. So if you imagine you've been a doll, you've been like Pinocchio or something, and then suddenly you become a person. So that's the sense of it. That's the kind of movement of the energy through the whole month. There is a partial solar eclipse on the 13th, and of course that is around that fabulous new moon as well. So with the new moon in Virgo, it feels like you are making your wishes now, and those wishes are for the long-term future, that this is not about a quick fix, that this is a long-term energy. What is it you want in the next 5 years? And that's what it feels like. Ooh. That's what it feels like that new moon is about, and then the full moon is that culmination. It almost, again, feels like you are breaking out, you're breaking free. So it could be that you're breaking free of a relationship, but it could also, I really feel that it's breaking free of illusions. I felt this little shiver. When I get shivers, it's usually about the truth. Okay, so now remember, I offer different consultations on my website, sealedwithlove.com. You can get card readings or intuitive soul guidance, all kinds of different things. You can also have a crystal gem reading as well. Now, before we get onto your crystals, remember to subscribe to my love letter at bit.ly/color kit. You'll get a free gift of a fabulous color kit. You can find out all your true colors in that color kit. Okay, so let's get started with your crystals. Okay, Cancer, so for you, we have 2 stones that went into the 3rd house. We have this green obsidian and then this piece of hematite. So when I looked at these 2 stones connecting together, especially in the 3rd house, what came up was that there's a sense of you organizing things right now. So organizing your home, organizing your garden, organizing your neighborhood, organizing your relationships with people. It's almost like you're getting everything organized. So this could be for the time between now and Christmas particularly. There is a sense of almost like there's a routine. I feel like there's a structure that's coming up, and that's what it feels like these 2 stones are linked with. I also feel that they're linked with your abundance, with your money. So you're going to start looking at your finances, sorting out any checks that you have to send out or bring in or pay in, anything like that. There's just a sense of organization in every energy, every level of your life. Then in the 6th house went this beautiful piece of angel aura. So it's an opal aura. So it has on it this lovely rainbow sheen. It's actually quartz with this gorgeous rainbow sheen. And the 6th house is about your health and your work and finding work-life balance. So when I look at all these stones together, it almost feels like you are cleansing, decluttering. Again, there's that organization. But this is saying that it's also about your physical self, your physical body. So you may find yourself changing your food, changing your nutrition, changing what you eat, changing your exercise, changing how you think about things, especially in the 3rd house with these 2 stones. So there's a lot of changes for you, but they're actions that you are taking as opposed to things happening to you. So it's not like you have to make these changes, but you are wanting to make the changes. That's the feeling of it. Hematite links to cleansing the blood and also cleansing the energy between you and your family. So I feel, especially as this went into your third house of communication, that this is about connecting to your family, building any bridges, that if there have been any issues with family members. But I feel almost like you need to get things cleared up, and especially before the 17th when Mercury goes retrograde. So you need to get all the plans, all the schedules, everybody on the same page before the 17th. I also feel with these that money is coming in, but it's money that's owed. So it's not like winning the lottery or something. It just feels like you're getting money in for something, sort of saying, okay, you owe this amount, you owe that amount. That sort of feeling to it. This stone again amplifies. So, you know, this is not going to be the same for everybody, but there's a real strong feeling of taking a vacation this month with this particular stone. So if you cannot take a vacation, then take time out, because I feel that you do need time to re-energize, reboost your system. Then the stone that came up is this kind of champagne color, and it's a brown energy. When I looked at this, it almost makes me feel like a tree is coming up, and this feels like the tree trunk. So I get the feeling with this that you are grounding, that you are getting everything organized, but established as well. So it's almost like there's more stability that's coming into your life. The financial structure of your life is also becoming more stable, and there is a sense of you finally looking after yourself, really turning to yourself, to what you can do to help yourself to heal, and what you can do to really rid yourself of anything that, and rid your life of anything that is taking energy from you as well. So that could be food, particularly, just changing your nutrition. The card that came up is the Wish card. It's the Star card, so take a look at that, see if there's anything that really attracts you at this moment, and then ask yourself, what does that mean? So when I look at this card, I am seeing the emerald that is right there at the back. So can you see that? The emerald. So I feel with this, because it's an emerald is about love, new love coming into your life. The emerald to me can mean that new love is coming in the form of another person as a relationship, but it can also mean that it's a good relationship with yourself, that you're changing, you're purging, and you're reconnecting to your heart. That would be the emerald energy. I'm also getting another thing, that it's like the Emerald City. So you are going to find the answer to a burning question this month. But, you know, and especially with this green, I was really focusing on the green all the time. So that green energy is very important. You're going to get an answer to a burning question. It's not necessarily coming from within you. I feel like it might be coming from somebody else. So put that question out there. What would happen if you were to get that question answered? Just ask that question of the universe. What would happen? What would change in my life if I got this question answered now? And then allow that to filter through the consciousness, your own consciousness, and the consciousness of the universe, and see if it comes back to you as an answer. Okay, that's it for this month's Astro Colorscope. I hope you enjoyed it. Do please give it a thumbs up if you did. Share it with your friends, and you can share it by email too. Let me know in the comments below if the messages resonated. And remember, you can grab my free color kit, find out your true colors at bit.ly/color kit. I will see you next week. Lots of coloricious blessings. Bye.